Well, thank everyone for being here tonight. Let's go ahead and start the meeting, and let's start with any business that we need to take care of. Anybody have anything that they want to report on?
We have a birthday for Cheryl coming up in April. Yes, if you could reserve the 8th of April, we're having a barbecue, and if you can make it, it would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
So what day in April is your actual birthday?
That's a Saturday between Good
No,
Friday and
what
Easter.
date is her actual birthday?
The 7th.
The 7th.
Well, that's my son's birthday.
If you look at my family calendar, I swear over half the people in my family are born in April.
Well, it's a good month. It's the only month.
Makes me wonder when they have sex.
July 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday's in April. My wife's birthday was in April. My granddaughter's birthday is in April.
So what time is that birthday party going to be?
4 till 7.
4 to 7. And it's at your house?
Yes.
Okay. That
I'll
sounds
have
great.
Frank
Thanks
send
for
out
inviting
the
us.
info.
Okay.
Okay, so there's
Cheryl's like.
any other business tonight?
Just a reminder, most of the people there have paid their dues, but pay your dues.
Hello. Hey, Harold.
There's an echo going on. Are there two audios in the same room someplace?
I'm not hearing any echo here.
Oh, I've heard it just a couple of times.
Yeah, we had two on. We muted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, Ann, I know you've judged for us in the past, but some of our members are maybe new and don't know you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. The short response, I'm currently the director at the Center for Photographic Art, which is in Carmel, California. Prior to that, I was the gallery director at Ricoh Photo Center in San Francisco for 10 years. And prior to that, I was teaching at the main photographic workshops.
All right, thanks.
And I could just go on, but right now I'm in Carmel. And somehow this amazing lava landscape came up as my background. So I think I'm in, I don't know where I am right now.
Well, it's a very nice landscape. I love the Carmel Monterey area. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
I was
Really
there all
is.
last week, so. Okay.
So,
Well, next time, come and see me. I can hook you up with a little hat, maybe, or a t-shirt.
Okay, I might be up there next week. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we've got an opening on the 18th, and we also have another exhibition right now, a satellite exhibition in Pacific Grove that ends on the 23rd. So,
Do you know, what was the Padre Hills Photography Club? Are they still active?
yep, still going.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought they shut down after COVID, but
No, I juried something for them online in the last year.
they've got some of the most interesting members, and their their newsletter is fabulous.
It is. Padre
It's one of the
Trails.
better newsletters I've ever seen.
Yep, they do a good job.
Yeah, they do a good job. So,
Okay, so before we go on to the competition, if everybody would please mute who is not announcing or having some official role, would appreciate that because it's easy for little things to interrupt. And that includes me. So I will do that now. And who do we have running the show? Is that you, Greg?
that would be me. Elaine, are you going to be the scorekeeper?
It looks like it, yeah,
Yeah, because Penny's not here, so.
right, yeah, I will do the scorekeeping, so I will not
Okay.
mute.
So, and what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up Bridge and I'm going to step through each of the images in the two groups. We'll start with color
Okay,
so that everybody here can see what the competition is.
right. So I don't
And-
yell out any numbers yet. I wait.
Yeah, so we're gonna step through the images, let everybody see what's up there. And when we get back to the first image, Elaine will announce the title of the image and then ask you to give us your comments and
Okay.
score.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, come on, Greg. Here, share. Ridge. Okay, is everybody seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. These are the color images. I believe there's 23 of them. Okay, come on. Stop that. Okay, this is our first image.
This one is titled Barrel Riding.
Okay. So do you want me to say the score first, or do you want me to say something about the picture first?
We'd like to hear your comments first and then the score.
Okay. Um, so for me, let me just move this around so I can see both my scores and the picture. Um, so I thought this was a great use of, shutter speed and stop motion, and I like that the horizon was eliminated from the photograph, so you have this sense of the endless sea. And technically, I think it's really good. I gave it an 18 out of 21.
Okay.
Focused.
This one, I didn't think the color was as alluring. I mean, the other previous one definitely had some more seductive color, but I thought that again, the use of shutter speed was fantastic here, and that this guy is like defying gravity is really great. I'm impressed with surfers because it's definitely something I cannot do. So I also gave this one an 18.
Okay.
Inverted surfer.
This one, because of how it's not perfectly sharp like the other ones, I mean, I feel like the tumult of the sea, but for me, I didn't spend as much time looking at it. And I actually really like just the kind of the churning sea more than the person himself. But I gave this one a 16.
Okay.
Laundry in the wind.
So I think that one you have to zoom out. It's zoomed
I
in too
think
much.
it's-
There we go.
So it's one thing about looking at work that it's pretty interesting because I just was in a portfolio review in Calgary of all places, virtually. I was in Calgary. Unfortunately, I wasn't really there. But you know, I met with these people who also met with like 8 or 9 other reviewers, and we all liked different pictures. Um, one of the things I want to say about this is I actually really think this is a beautiful image, but you know, it's kind of subjective. But one of the things that I really don't like is selective coloring. So there's part of me that either wants this image to be all black and white, like I think I would have given it a 21 if it was all black and white, but there's something I just don't like about the selective coloring, and it's a personal thing. Like somebody else might love this picture. So I just want to preface that because I think it's really beautifully seen. Um, but then this is what are my 3 categories of the judging? It was the interest,
Interest,
Impact,
yeah,
composition, and technique.
technique. Yeah, I was just looking at my notes up here. So for me, it wasn't, I mean, like technically, compositionally, I think it's great. You know, my interest level, once I was like, wait a minute, is that hand color or is that like colored selectively? Then I was like, meh. So I ended up giving this one, let me go back to my color notes. I gave it 16.
16, okay.
Yeah.
Morning fog with winter tree.
So this is also when it becomes subjective. Like I grew up in the snowy white north near Canada, so I'm like a sucker for a snow picture. So I just want to also say that. Um, so I actually really love the color palette of this picture and how, that tree, if you look at it, it's just covered with the thinnest layer of ice or snow. And I don't know. I really love the kind of cool hues of this whole picture. So I gave this one a 20.
Okay.
Oh, holy light.
This one I thought was really a beautiful use of light and, seeing, and the way that the fog is sort of, diffusing that light and those beams are coming down. And one of my favorite photographers is Josef Sudek. And I think of those like St. Vitus Cathedral pictures where the workers have stirred up all the dust and you can really see the beams of light. And I actually thought of that, and I thought of the church like a cathedral, like a church, a holy place. And look, the title is Holy Light, right? So I gave this one a 19.
19.
Yeah.
Outreach.
This is one where there's certain parts of this picture I like a lot. Like I like the gesture of these 2 trees sort of reaching towards each other. The one thing I didn't like is that the tree on the left is cut off. And so, my eye naturally moves through the right side and then it connects to the left and then it kind of gets stopped by that jarring cut of the left side. So, one thing to think about is like your camera frame when you're looking, whether you're looking through the viewfinder or looking at the screen on the back of the camera, is to kind of let your eye travel the perimeter of that frame and think about what's happening on the edges. So for me, because of that, the left side being cut like it is, I gave this one a 16. Because I think it's had a potential to be a really nice picture. I give it 16, yeah.
Yeah, great.
The last gold at Bodie.
So this one, I lived in Maine for years, and this actually this is another little thing. It reminds me of one of the places that I used to live in. So I actually, even though this has that same bit of like black and white versus color, when I looked at this, I didn't immediately see that. Like it could have just been the lights hitting that other room. Um, so I actually think this is sort of beautiful. I would, whoever's printing it, I would maybe try not to make it too monochromatic in that first room, like leave some color in there. I'm not a digital person, but however that's done. Uh, but I gave this one a 19.
Okay.
Trying to get the right white balance.
This picture I thought was really funny, like the title, but I think also again, now that you know that I'm from the snowy north, like I also really respond to this. And where I grew up, we had a lot of lake effect snow, like you know how a buffalo got killed this winter, like that. We just get like 7 feet in a day. And so there's something about this that is, I think, really fantastic, especially the white pants blending into the white and just that spot of color with her headband. Um, I really, so I like this picture for a lot of reasons, but I gave this one a 19.
Twilight Windmill.
Um, I've spent a lot of time in Oklahoma, so this for me also sort of resonated. And then there's also that beautiful Edward Weston picture of this type of windmill, which I used to know the name of, right? Begins with an A. Is it Arrow something? Um, And I think that, you know, just catching the eclipse of that moon was really nice. And also just the silhouette of these objects against that sky uh, is really nicely seen. So I gave this one a 18.
Winter Comes to Boyton Canyon.
Um, so I can't remember. There's a second one of these coming up. But this from this setting, this I sort of liked that the light, you can't see the horizon with the fog. So there's really sort of the sense that this is endless and that the photographer, like you don't know where the photographer is standing, and I really like that. And then I also don't know if that's like fog or snow. Um, and then the color palette is really nice with that sort of mix of the cool green and the warm red, like that warm, cool contrast. So I gave this one an 18. I think it's also technically really well done.
Okay.
In the Prism.
This is one where the part of this photograph I'm most interested in is that rainbow, which I guess is also what the photographer's interested in. Um, so part of me, I'm really like interested in what the light is doing, but I feel a little sort of like the frame's a little bit odd, and I don't know how this could be. I wasn't there, so I just don't know how this could be framed in a different way, but I appreciate what the photographer is trying to get with that, the strangeness of the color and what that was doing to the scene. Um, so I gave this a 17.
Living on the Edge.
Apparently, I liked this one a little bit more because I gave it a higher score. Um, but this one, I think, because how the background mountains are disappearing, and then you really see this sort of wonderful edge of the foreground rocks. Um, it just feels like, I don't know, almost like primeval or something. So I gave this one a 19.
Morning Mist.
This one, I thought the light was really beautiful. It almost feels like, you know, that early Steichen photograph of the moonrise in the forest. It's like a moonrise over a pond, and it's a early platinum print that has a little bit of blue in it. Um, but I thought about that, and I just thought, you know, how wonderful it was that the photographer was there to capture the sort of steam rising off the water. So I gave this one a 19. a really wonderful kind of quietness to it.
Running on water.
This I thought was, really well composed with that line coming from the lower right corner and leading you into the frame with those places where the duck is hitting the water. I wish the light was more beautiful, but of course, then this would probably be a totally different picture. It's just it's a little bit heavy, but it's a nice capture. It's good, again, another great use of shutter speed. I gave this one an 18.
Storm and light on El Moro.
I really thought the light on this was beautiful and how the it almost seems like it's lit by some fantastic, you know, fantastic sun, and then that blackness in the background. So I don't know, this is like a moment before the sky opens. And I gave this one a 19.
Tulip glow.
This one I thought was really beautiful. Flowers aren't my absolute favorite. They're not my absolute favorite subject, but um, but I do appreciate, how beautiful this is. And the light on those petals, and also how you can't see anything beyond this, and how the photographer's gotten down low to make that picture. But I gave this one 17.
12 below zero.
Um, that I appreciate the temperature. Um, and also the stillness of this moment. It also almost looks like a little diorama, like it's like a miniature. It doesn't actually seem like a giant landscape to me. So I didn't find it quite as exciting as a couple of the other snow scenes. So I gave this one a 17.
Two views of the second city.
This one I thought, it's just in Chicago, and I think it's a miracle that you can't really see a swarm of people around that. And maybe they were photoshopped out, but I don't think so, because they're not even in the reflection. Um, so I actually think that this is sort of nicely seen, and it is true. It is two views of the city. The one thing I would say is that the color seems just a little unnatural to me, because I'm sort of like a dinosaur. I'm sort of like a little bit of a purist. But I gave this one a 17.
White ranunculus.
And for all my talk about not being a fan of flowers, I actually think that this is like extraordinarily beautiful, and I like how the photographers come in and cropped in really close like this. And it almost feels like a gown or something. It doesn't look like a flower anymore, which is maybe why I like this one so much. But I also like that bottom petal that's kind of pushing at the edge, the one that's a little bit pointy, and then that center part just feels like this kind of wonderful little nest, like a little surprise. It's almost like a Georgia O'Keeffe or something. So I actually gave this one a 20.
A beautiful day in the Palouse.
Um, this one I think, like, I love the sky and the yellow of the grass there. Um, for me, I sort of want the photographer to just tilt the frame up slightly so I don't see those grasses in the foreground or that road. Like, I think if it just became about like the barn and the hill against the sky, it would just be like these three elements, and it could, I think, be really amazing image. So I gave this one a 16.
Reduced visibility.
I think that's a really funny title. Uh, and also, not your, like, this wouldn't be a picture that would be on the cover of like a surf magazine or anything. Um, but, pretty clever. And also, I like how monochromatic it is and kind of colorless. Like, it could be a color picture, but be colorless. I gave this one a 17.
The unknown.
And this one I actually really liked because it is the unknown. I looked at this for a long time and I couldn't tell if it was paper or metal or, you know, I don't know. And I also appreciate the colors. I don't know if this is like color that's being projected on it or or there's a light source. But this having those complementary colors, the yellow and purple working together, um, it's good for me. And I gave this one a 19.
Okay, we have some ties to
We've
break.
got two 20s.
What do people get? Is there like a prize?
Well, we place them.
Only claim to fame.
We have a first, second, third, and because we have more than 20 images, we will have 2 honorable mentions. And so, first of all, we need to pick a first and second between number 5 and number 20.
Oh my God, the two white pictures. Oh no. Oh shit. They're so different, aren't they?
Totally different kind of feel.
Right? One is like sexy, and then one is like you're gonna die. I guess I'm gonna go with the sex and go with the flower.
So the flowers first.
Yeah. I
And
never thought
morning
I'd do
fog is
it.
second.
Yep.
Okay. Now for the fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
What, 4 or 5 19s there?
yeah, let me see. We need number 6, number 8, number 9, 13, 14, 16, and 23.
Jeez.
Now, from these images, we will pick a third place and 2 honorable mentions.
This couldn't be more radically different. Um, oh, this is really hard. Um, uh, you know what two look really great together? It's the golden room and then the woman in the snow, right? Let's just
Yep.
looking at the screen, it's like, oh my God, those are such a good pair. Um, uh, ah, okay, I can't go all white for the top three. Let's go with the golden room. I'm like breaking all my rules. Have you ever read that there's a magazine called Don't Take Pictures and they have a column called Rule Breakers and they pick all these different like curators and gallery directors and stuff to write about a photographer that breaks the rules. Like they like they picked me to do it once. They said, pick something you never want to see another picture of again. And I was like, ooh, should I say flowers? And then I was like, no, that's so broad. And so I said, I never want to see another picture of Cuba. And then you have to pick a photographer that breaks your rule. And so I actually picked someone who had this amazing work from Cuba. And so I feel like I picked the amazing flower. This is like one rule breaker in the group. And then whoever's doing this color in the black and white, another rule breaker. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, the Bodhi room, is that what it's
That will
called?
be for third, and then we'll need to pick 2 honorable mentions.
Well, I gotta have that storm approaching, that middle one down there.
The
Trying
the
to get the right white balance?
The-
Or the rocks, the canyon.
No, the
the bottom middle, or are
bo-
you talking?
bottom bottom middle for one honorable mention. That's is that
Okay,
a
16, okay.
yeah, storm and light on the elm. Right? Isn't that just so ominous? It's like
Yes, it is.
beautiful and ominous. It's like the best. Um, and then I really do love that white balance one. I also love that weird purple yellow thing. It's tough. All right, I'm going with is it too much snow? All right, I'm gonna go with the white balance.
Okay,
Okay,
that
Tough.
would be number
number 9,
Number nine.
number 9. Okay, great.
okay.
Okay, we are ready.
Well, you might be.
I'm ready. Okay, this is Barrel Riding by Kevin Miller. Focused by Frank Tromp. Inverted Surfer by Ron Calvert. Laundry in the Wind by Rosie Prancasio.
Rosie, I really like that.
Thank
I know
you.
it's so beautiful.
That was in Italy.
Morning Fog with Winter Tree, and second place by Cheryl Decker.
All right, Cheryl.
Hey.
That is a beautiful shot, Cheryl.
Yeah.
I
nice
got
shot.
frostbite just looking at it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
yes,
nice.
my hands have not recovered yet.
I might have taken a little bit off the left, but I don't think it would work any better than what you've got. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really nice. Oh Holy Light by Elaine Calvert.
Yeah, it's
Very
really
pretty.
pretty, Elaine.
Oh, thank you. Outreach by Charlotte Daigle. The Last Gold at Bodie, and our third place winner by Ed E. Powell.
Yeah, for the record, there was
Yay.
no color added to that. It's late afternoon light at Bodie Ghost Town. And all this old wood and everything is mostly just gray. Basically, all I did was take control over luminosity throughout the image, but it's not a selective color shot. You can see some of the gold on the upper right of the wallpaper too.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's real beautiful.
Yeah, it turned out better than I expected it would.
Very nice, Ed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Trying to Get the Right White Balance, and honorable mention by Larry Decker.
Yay, Larry.
Larry, the fact that you kept track of your wife was amazing.
Yes. Where was
Yeah,
this?
that was,
Wait, is she shooting the other shot?
She's dressed in white. She's in the photo.
I know, but didn't she make the other picture?
Yeah,
Like-
I was getting the one that got second place while he was taking a picture of me
Exactly.
getting honorable mention seat.
Carol's very hard to keep up with.
Where are you, Cheryl?
That was Yellowstone about
Oh.
a week and a half ago.
Oh,
We went up for 2 days.
Oh yeah, you talked about that. Yeah.
that's right. I'm jealous.
It was
Okay.
fabulous.
Great.
I'm cold.
Creative title there too, Larry. Really
Yeah,
good.
that was a great title. This is Twilight Windmill by Penny Powell. That's nice.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
Hi- Penny, I'm surprised you got that partial eclipse. That's just fabulous.
Well, it's actually not a partial eclipse. It's you. I don't know for sure why that the moon showed like that, but that the sky behind the windmill is from the SpaceX launch
Whoa.
when we were in Idaho, and it flew across the horizon and made that white color.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
So
It
maybe
looks like an eclipse.
Yeah, it does.
maybe it's because of the SpaceX that it's giving luminosity to the moon. I don't know.
I don't know either.
So
But
cool.
it made an interesting photo.
It was
Yes,
very
it
cool
did.
to see the launch from so far away. You know, we live right here at Vandenberg and we see launches all the time, but that was a different experience. And Penny was out there when we didn't know it was going to happen. And she was out there going to photograph the windmill and she got a bonus. I think it's cool.
Real cool.
That is. Winter Comes to Boyton Canyon by Janine Bagnuta. That's beautiful.
Janine, I really love that image.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm starting to think I like this one more than the other. Just kidding.
I do
I
like
mean,
this one more than the other.
Having the clouds drifting through and the snowstorm, it's just a stunning. Is that Zion?
It's in Sedona.
Oh,
Wow.
Sedona.
Yeah, the-
Okay.
The
Gorgeous.
darker
Beautiful.
band of sky above it gives a little bit of an oppression to the image, and I think helps define a little bit of the mood and you know the winter scene there. And sort of you know the storm is continuing or coming. So again, I like that darker band up there. That added something for me.
Now that you told me Sedona, I recognize the rock formations
Mm.
from across the canyon. Yeah. So
You don't think of Arizona as being so cold.
It was in the
Sedona's
20s.
5,000 feet. It snows.
Yeah, I know. This is In the Prism by Charlotte Daigle.
How did you get the prism in there?
I don't know if Charlotte has joined us, but it's
Oh,
kind of interesting how she got this.
That rainbow's amazing.
Rainbow.
Charlotte, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry. It was a rainbow coming right down in our pasture.
Did you get the
like
gold?
you were inside the rainbow.
Wow. That's
Amazing.
amazing.
wow.
Cool shot.
No
Yes.
gold. No pot of gold. I looked.
Better luck next time.
You have to dig deeper.
If
Yeah.
you look harder next time, you might find the leprechaun.
It's like a miracle.
Living on the Edge by Janine Bagnuta.
I think I like the other one better now.
Well, so do I.
I like
Yeah.
both of them, but I
Yeah,
like
I
the
like
first one better too.
I like
It's,
this one.
it's
a lot.
hard to beat any image of Sedona.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are special. Morning Mist by Ron Calvert.
That's
That's
cool, Ron.
stunning, really
Mhm.
stunning.
I like that.
I was wondering, Ron, if you could cut off the bottom part.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat Penny.
I like the trees.
Yeah, I do. too.
I don't know. I think the bottom with the water reflections and things is part of the image.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it the way it is,
too.
Ron.
Running on Water by Frank Tromp.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. Penny was
Yeah.
mentioning maybe flip it, but I think that would be a mistake. And I don't know whether you tried that or not, but having it this way, you know, the upper right-hand corner is so dominant. And this way it gives more balance to the image. I like it. It's real nice.
And the fact that you got the water progressively,
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
what shutter speed were you at to do this?
5,000.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's cool.
Wow.
very impressive. Good capture.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
Storm and Light on El Moro and honorable mention by Penny Powell.
beautiful.
Hooray for Penny.
Nice picture.
Penny.
Thanks. It was really cold too.
Tulip Glow by Rosie Brancasio.
Really pretty.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
I like the light behind it coming through the petals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 Below Zero by Larry Decker.
Brr.
Yeah, cold.
Two Views of the Second City by Cheryl Decker.
Having
think
that
so.
reflective polished globe there always looks false. It just doesn't look natural.
I love that thing, the bean.
But I know it's there.
Yeah, that was photographed very early in the morning, like at
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the sun rising behind it in the globe.
Yeah,
That's a
That's
nice
true.
capture.
it's pretty amazing.
Very nice. White Ranunculus in first place by Elaine Calvert.
Way to go, Lane.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank
Yep.
you.
If it was any sharper, it would damage your eyes.
I had to focus stack it because it was, so close. But thank you. A Beautiful Day in the Palouse by Rosie Brancasio. Reduced Visibility by Frank Tromp.
Love that title, Frank. That's so good.
The Unknown by Ron Calvert.
So what is it, Ron?
It's printer paper and two lights, one yellow and one blue.
Yeah, it's cool. It's it's
Definitely
just,
cool.
you definitely get the stars for impact.
Yeah,
I like it.
to me, it looks like almost planets, and the solar system
Yeah.
thing.
The
Did
only
I-
thing missing was the Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's on the other side.
Did I?
Look, it'll come around pretty soon.
Yeah,
I
muted.
did mention that number 16, Storm and Light on El Moro, was one of our honorable mentions, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't forget to say that.
Okay, we'll move on to monochromes. There's 22 of them.
Two boy.
You gonna take this, Penny?
You can.
Yeah, I can do that. Thank you, Elaine.
Okay.
Okay, this is our first image.
The title is Among Giants 3.
What was I saying? Just kidding. Well, I maybe it's because I live not too far from like Oceano, and I really appreciate dune pictures. I'm always trying to make them, and mine aren't great, so I actually really like this. Like, part of me was like, is this Namibia? It seems they seem gigantic. They don't seem like small dunes. So, and I think it's really beautifully seen with the three different textures of the sand. So I gave this one an 18.
An apple a day.
I really think this is like beautifully lit and mysterious. I also um, think that in terms of like my interest in it, like maybe not as much as other subjects, but I think it's really well done. Um, so I gave this one a 17.
Avoiding the surf.
I actually really like the way this picture's seen. I like all these birds, and I like the way that, the foam kind of looks like snow or ice. Um, but I thought the whole image was just kind of a little flat. There wasn't maybe enough contrast in there, but I like the scene. So I gave this one a 17.
Cat.
Um, I think uh, I love cats. I don't know where this is, but I do like that this cat is like going for a walk with these people. Um, and then I also like that it looks like the guy on the right-hand side is carrying like like if he has vision impairment, he's carrying one of those sticks to help him see, but it looks like he's looking at the cat. I don't know. There's a lot going on here in the choreography of the street. So I gave this one an 18.
Cold and alone.
Well, you probably got me on this one. This I also was um, I like that you couldn't tell if it was sand or if it was snow. And then the isolation of that one tree in this kind of heavy landscape. So I gave this one a 20.
Going nowhere.
I was really just want to know where this is. Like this is, um, and also it looks like anyway, there was a lot going on with this picture that I couldn't. It looks like this car is sort of emanating light, and it's a really sort of beautiful, but then the whole scene is really inhospitable. So I liked that dichotomy. So I gave this one an 18.
Man and leaves.
Um, I couldn't tell, and this was at first driving me crazy, but then the more I looked at it, the more I found it appealing. I couldn't tell if that was like a photoshopped guy, like who had been really like airbrushed and overworked, and then I was like, oh, I don't like this picture. But then I looked at it again, and I was like, wait, is this a sculpture? And then there's just a plant in front of it, and then I was like, oh, and I was like, or is it a painting? And then I found myself looking at it a lot longer. So I gave this a 17.
Memphis Speed Kings.
I think this is a really great capture, getting that moment where that guy is standing on top of the base. Like, I feel like that's a terrible idea. Um, but also like a moment that couldn't have lasted that long. So I think it's a really good use of shutter speed. And I gave this one a 19.
Millennium Park.
I like that this one is uh, how the photographer cropped it as a square, and how everything in the scene is like really sort of geometric and sharp, except this winding road that takes you into the city. And it doesn't even look real, like it looks like a little model. Kind of when you go to Legoland and it's like, oh, like it just doesn't look real. So I really like this. It's a little flat for me. Like I feel like the contrast could be pumped up a little bit. But I think it's a really interesting picture. And I gave this one an 18.
Sorrow.
This I felt like was almost two pictures. Like I felt like there was something happening in the foreground with that sculpture, and there's something happening in the background with that tree. And I like that it's a negative image. Like I think that having the image inverted is interesting. But I find myself going back and forth between the tree and that object in the foreground. And so I found myself becoming more distracted the longer I looked at it. But I gave it a 17.
Stormy seascape.
Um, this one I thought was really evocative, like how when you think about print statements, like some images I think should be really heavy and dark to make them even more evocative. And I think that this having a really heavy print statement and not a bright white really works. And I really like this picture, and I gave this one a 20.
We Were Here, Oceano Dunes.
This I thought, looked like a cave painting or some sort of, you know, something left behind, like some hieroglyphics or something. And I also made me think of like Cape Cod. I mean, it wasn't your typical Oceano picture, which I really appreciated. Um, and I just think it's really kind of beautifully seen with the footsteps going in different directions. So I gave this one a 19.
Bomb cyclone.
Um, this I am interested in, and there was another one of a similar with a similar scene later on, but um, for me, this one, it feels like the action is happening on the left side of the photograph, and so the right side feels a little empty to me, but I appreciate that the photographer is out there in this weather making this picture. And I gave this one a 17.
Okay.
Fountain.
This one I really like for me was mostly interested in the light and the lily pads in the water. Um, Less actually interested in the fountain itself. So I'm curious, like the way the light is working with the water, that silvery quality. I find myself just being really drawn to that part of the picture and less interested in the rest of what's happening here. So I gave this one a 16.
In the Rain.
This one, I actually really love the light on the umbrella. Um, but I'm most interested in that couple on the bench and maybe less interested in what's happening out beyond them. Um, but I ended up giving this one a 16. I appreciate all the types of light in this group of pictures, though.
This is Keeping Up Appearances.
This one for me is another rule breaker. Like normally I wouldn't go for something like this, but I think there's just something so bizarre about this scene, which I also don't understand where it is, whether it's the sea or whether it's in the mountains, and what this car doing there, and then really what's this woman doing there in that outfit. Um, that I just thought was like the weirdest fashion shoot ever. Like, so I gave this one a 19.
La Purísima.
Um, this one, what I like about it is the way that roof line is sort of pointing in the background of that other cart. There's like these sort of three elements here. Um, I feel like maybe the shadows could be a little more open or something. Like I find it maybe just a teeny bit too quiet for me as a picture. Um, so I end up giving this one a 16.
Waves crashing on Morro Rock.
Uh, so this one was the one that reminded me of the other one. I mean, I think that's the problem is that you go through them once and you go back through. Um, so I don't know if this is the same scene as the previous one, but it doesn't matter. But what I liked about this was how it looks like a platinum print, like whatever treatment that the photographer's done, like it actually looks like it's a photograph from the 1800s. It doesn't look like a contemporary picture. And I also like how it's just really focusing on those two moments, the one where the rock is being hit by the water, and then I don't know if it's another wave that's up that high or just a cloud that's kind of coming up from behind the bigger rock. That there's, I don't know, something very mesmerizing about this. So I gave this one a 19.
Alex, 2013, 9-1, number 2.
This one, like the Keeping Up Appearances, I was sort of surprised that I liked, because usually I don't go for that sort of thing, but I do love Kate Chopin's book, The Awakening. So of course, I thought about that moment at the end of the book, and I gave this one. I also think it also looks like a platinum print. I'm a platinum printer, so I'm kind of a little bit of a sucker for that look. So I gave this one a 19.
Flare.
This I thought was interesting because it looks like it's kind of it could have been taken with a pinhole camera, which was also interesting to me. I like alternative cameras. Um, and then I also those palm trees don't actually look real to me. Um, so I thought that it's always good to break rules too and do things like you're not supposed to, like shoot into the light. So I gave this one an 18.
Sphere.
Um, I'd love to see this one with the one from Chicago. It could be like the giant sphere and the baby sphere. Uh, but I thought the way this thing looks not totally circular and smooth was interesting and how it's become a little distorted. And I don't know if the photographer did this or it was like that, but I like that the reflection. So I gave this one an 18.
Walk.
Oh, and this is beautiful. I mean, this is like classic architecture. Um, I sort of in my dream world wish the sort of apex of the roof bracing was in there because it feels a little cut off to me on the top. Um, but it's the light is beautiful and the space is beautiful. So I gave this one a 17.
Okay, we've got some,
A few.
a few.
It's tough.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. We have 2 20s, number 5 and number 11.
I have to go with that Stormy Sea, that number 11.
As first,
Yeah.
and number 5 is second.
Okay. And then we go to our 19s. Number
Just a few.
8,
8,
12, 16, 18, and 19.
Well, those sure are different. Um,
So just like before, we need a third and 2 honorable mentions.
and I think I'd go third, for Alex, the woman in the waves, in the water there.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 honorable mentions.
Yep.
Let's go with the feet and then the other crashing wave.
Mhm.
So Memphis Speed Kings and the Waves.
No, the feet,
The
the
feet.
sand.
The
We
feet.
were
Okay.
here.
Okay, so 12.
The
And
Oceana one, yeah, 12.
and 18 waves
Yes.
crashing on
Yes.
Royal Rock. Okay.
It really
Okay.
looks like a historical print. It's very interesting.
Okay, we're ready. When you are.
Mhm.
This is Among Giants 3 by Janine Bagnuda.
It's
Looks
beautiful.
like the Great Dune outside of Janine, where was that?
That's in Death Valley.
Oh, okay.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
beautiful.
An Apple a Day by Kevin Miller.
Is that just window light?
No, that's 2 strobes at 45 degrees behind the person.
Nice.
Really
I
pretty.
looked at it, I said, that's Eve biting the apple.
Exactly. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I had more of like a Sleeping Beauty type in my mind.
Oh,
But yeah.
really don't do it.
Okay, this is Avoiding the Surf by Gregory Doudna.
Where is?
More rock.
Okay, thank you.
Hat by Harold Litweiler.
Actually, it has a different name. I don't know why these other ones showed up, but it says it should be a modern stroll.
Ah,
Well, Harold, that's what it came to me as cat.
Interesting. I know because that was the title underneath it, but I put the other titles anyway. That's what
Well,
modern stroll was the name of it. So
it took me a while to figure out where the cat was.
I saw it immediately and I really liked that. I really liked that capture that you.
yeah, it was
that the
really hard to
cat-
catch it because I was walking when I was, and had to do it real quick. So
I like the expression
it's
on
a
that
split
guy's
second
face. Yeah.
capture.
Yeah, I like that you got this other guy looking at the cat going like, what? Okay.
Cold and Alone in second place by Larry Decker.
Very cool, Larry.
That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
nice.
that's
I
wonderful.
like that a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's snow in Yellowstone.
yeah,
Yeah, I like the processing on that too. That's really beautiful.
yeah,
And absolutely no tracks in the snow at all.
yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Going Nowhere by Alan Upshaw.
Looks like the LA River.
Is that in Chicago?
That's Oakland.
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 Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
That's spooky.
Man and Leaves by Jim McInnes.
Is it a painting? Is it a sculpture?
He's
I-
not with us to ask today.
I can guarantee you it's a composite.
Okay.
I think he's in the cemetery. Yeah? I think he's scalping the cemetery in Italy. I think.
Yeah, I bet you're right, Flavio.
So it is a sculpture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a sculptor.
Well, Jim's in Italy right now, so.
It's not him.
Let's hope not.
This is Memphis Speed Kings by Ed E. Powell.
Yeah. I still like
Great capture, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, you have to have some experience and you got to get lucky.
Yeah. Timing
It
is
just has to
everything.
happen.
Millennium Park by Cheryl Decker. That must have been early in the morning.
Where's that at, Cheryl?
That is a skating rink, actually,
Okay.
that goes all the way through Millennium Park in Chicago.
Oh,
A skating rink. Oh, wow.
how fun.
Sorrow by Charlotte Daigle.
Is that a cemetery in the background, or?
I don't know.
She's probably muted again.
You muted, Charlotte?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's our backyard, and that's one of my husband's maquettes. He's a sculptor.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
I love that tree. The tree looks amazing, especially up against those beams. That's nice.
It's an interesting photo. It's like, are we supposed to get sad when we see this? It's called Sorrow, right?
No,
So
not really.
die and they're back there under those blocks.
Stormy Seascape in First Place by Elaine Calvert.
Very
Beautiful,
good, Elaine.
Elaine.
Lane, Oregon coast.
That's the Oregon coast, yeah. And those waves were just incredible.
And well, I can see multiple terraces of the ocean going up.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, is that one or two people standing on the far right?
There's a couple standing
Yeah,
there.
That's
And
two
those
people there.
waves went almost as far as where they're standing. And I have images where the waves are just really crashing up there, but I just like this one, that incoming.
It's great.
Nice capture.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very nice.
We Were Here, Oceano Dunes, and honorable mention by Penny Powell.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to meet the person whose feet are vertically misaligned.
I don't know.
That's what
think they were
those
born that way.
images, though, that you stare at and you
They
wonder,
must walk in a circle.
is it indented or is it out? I
It's
mean,
a relief.
a relief. Okay.
You know, they were still damp from that time we were there right after the rain.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
And so that was a little
made a
bit
relief.
wetter. Uh-huh.
Wow. That's unusual.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Bomb Cyclone by Gregory Doudna.
I like all the,
Capturing the birds in that image.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
know. It's that whoever took that other picture ruined it for you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, I know him and I'm going to kick him in the shins.
I was like, ooh, I like this. And then I got to the other one. I go, oh, I like this one more.
I'm so sad. Oh,
Do it again, Greg. This is Fountain by Alan Upshaw. Looks like from the Getty.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was he sitting on, Alan?
I think it's a pig with its head cut off.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, and why does he have such a large nipple?
Just a weird fountain.
I mean, this is a very confused image.
It should be.
In the Rain by Harold Litweiler.
Yeah. I like.
Is that Turkey?
No, that's actually Granada, Spain.
Ah, yeah.
It was pouring so hard, and there was like probably a couple hundred people up on this deck, and these are the only two people who were brave enough to sit out in the rain and get rained on.
Wow.
Keeping Up Appearances by Ed E. Powell.
I love the title on that too.
I know. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
Model, Ed?
Huh?
Was she a model? Or
No, not really. No,
oh,
composite. I'm
Is
it is a
composite?
composite.
Oh, okay.
The landscape is Death Valley.
okay.
Maybe she was
it's
just
a very
walking through.
interesting image, but you look at it and you go, what's wrong with this picture?
Exactly. What is wrong?
La Purísima by Kevin Miller. Yeah, I like this one. And we have Waves Crashing on Mora Rock, and honorable mention by Jim McInnes.
Curses, Jim.
And he better watch out for his shins.
Now we know why he fled to Italy.
Yeah.
Alex 21391, number 2 by in third place by Jim McInnes.
God, the Jim. If I knew he wasn't here, I'd forget it.
Have to be here to get the high school.
Exactly.
Jim's very big in overlays and composites.
Yeah.
Good
And
job.
so all of these are basically, they're all, almost every image he ever does has an overlay on it. So.
And they're numbered.
He puts
Yes,
overlay.
not dated and numbered.
Pain in the butt.
Okay, and this is Flare by Alan Upshaw.
Alan, were you using a really wide angle lens on this?
That, and also it has the lens only has 5 blades, and it gives a 10-pointed star.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Cool. It looks like the palm tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the idea.
Sphere by Gregory Doudna.
I like that.
That's at the Santa Barbara Museum of Art, Modern Art or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And is that you right in the center?
Yeah, you can't take a picture of this without you in it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Walk by Harold Litweiler.
Where's that one?
That was in Tarragona, Spain.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, that's it, folks.
Cool.
Cool. There was a lot of really nice images tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
Really
good.
They're
Walker did
really
a
were.
tough job.
Congratulations to everyone, even if you didn't win.
Yeah.
It's great. Thank you for
All
sharing
great
your
work.
work with
Yep.
me.
Well, thank you.
And I look forward to meeting you, maybe in person in a week or two, if I'm up in
Yeah.
the Carmel
If
area.
anyone wants some free wine, there's an opening on the 18th. Just saying.
Free, I never pass up free wine.
We know,
on
guys.
up.
We know.
So,
All right. Well, are you guys going to now do meeting like things?
yeah, we're going to chat and,
And you're welcome to stay on if you'd like.
you
We
can
just,
stay along as long as you like.
Well, I think I'm gonna go get some wine, so I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Lady.
Thank you
But I'll-
again.
Joanne.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
thank
much.
you so much. Appreciate it.